Live from WTVO Rockford and your home team. Eyewitness News at 5 starts now.
Stellantis deals a blow to the Belvidere community. The mayor reacts to news the assembly plant will be idled.
Illinois lawmakers begin hearings on stricter gun laws. Gun violence survivors give heart-wrenching testimony.
And the local blood bank welcomes a pair of special visitors. Santa and Mrs. Claus roll up their sleeves for a good cause. Good evening, I'm Mimi Murphy.
And I'm Tom Lewis. Eric Wilson has the night off. Thank you so much for joining us.
This evening, we're continuing coverage on the impacts on Stellantis idling their plant in Belvidere. They made the announcement last Friday.
Amory Wilder sat down with the mayor of Belvidere to learn about what this means for the city. And Amory, there's still a lot of unknowns.
Yes, Mimi and Tom. Mayor Clinton Morris tells me he's not sure how it will play out, but what he can say is that there's a feeling of disappointment for all parties involved.
This plant is going to be idled, but and it isn't a good thing. It is very disappointing, but we have to look forward.
Stellantis announced they will be idling their plant in the city of Murrells on February 28th. It's not the report Belvidere's mayor Clinton Morris was expecting. I
was hoping for news that we were going to have another product line announcement. Also, being a realist, we know that as they had indicated, the supply chain, COVID, and they had also mentioned the price of the cost to them of EV and what that means to their business. And, you know, with all of that being at play, you know, I certainly wasn't expecting it, but the reality of it is right now it's tough. It's a tough economic time.
Morris is still optimistic, but he feels for the more than 1,300 employees that will be getting laid off come next year.
I think most importantly what it means for the employees out at Stellantis, not only those employees there, but also our supply chain employees. And it certainly is, it's disheartening for us, for me. I know I've put a lot of effort in with the state and with our local partners.
Morris says he'll continue to do what he can by working with the governor and state representatives.
My main concern is what do we do going forward? How are we going to be able to make sure that, you know, that we do have success here, to be able to have future jobs, to be able to make sure that the plant stays viable and is open for production.
Although the facility is not in Rockford, it has an impact on many Rockford families and businesses too. Mayor Tom McNamara said in a statement, quote, "I have already been in contact with the governor's team, as well as our local workforce connection, to develop a plan to assist the families impacted by these devastating layoffs." Tom?
Amory, thank you for that report. Well, police search for a suspect after a Belvidere gas station is robbed early this morning. Now, officers called to the Mobil station on Pearl Street around 5. Investigators say a man entered the store and demanded money from the clerk. He ran from the scene. Police are gathering security camera footage from the area. If you have any information, call Belvidere Police or Boone County Crime Stoppers.
Illinois lawmakers are moving forward with a bill that would ban assault-style weapons statewide. A bipartisan panel heard testimony today from gun violence victims from Highland Park to Chicago's South Side.
We ran through bullets darting all around us in every direction. We ran around and over pools of blood that engulfed the unfortunate people who would not be going home to their families that day.
If we don't do something about this, shame on us.
The Protect Illinois Communities Act would make it illegal to manufacture, deliver, sell, or purchase assault weapons, rapid-fire gun attachments, and ammunition magazines with more than 10 rounds. Any existing weapons of that nature would need to be registered with the state. Most people under 21 would no longer be permitted to own firearms or ammunition. The bill would also expand red flag laws by extending the length of firearm restraining orders. Governor Pritzker has asked the Democrat-led legislature to approve the bill before July 4th. The next hearing is scheduled for Thursday morning. Congress needs to get moving this week to keep the government running. Funding is set to expire Friday, meaning the House and Senate will probably have to pass a short-term extension to avoid a shutdown. A temporary agreement would give congressional bargainers more time to hammer out a full-year spending plan. The White House says it's optimistic a temporary deal will get done. But a top Republican negotiator says the GOP and Democrats are still about $26 billion apart on a long-term budget deal.
Well, gas prices continue to fall here in the Forest City as prices have dropped almost 20 cents in the past week. The average price of gas now $3.49. That's a 60-cent drop since this time last month. According to Gas Buddy, the cheapest gas station in Rockford is selling gas for $2.85, while the most expensive is selling gas at $4.29. Experts still believe the national average will be less than $3 a gallon by Christmas, with 15 states already at that mark. Well, with less now than 2 weeks to go until Christmas, why not give the gift of blood to those less fortunate? Santa and Mrs. Claus rolled up their sleeves this morning.
This is all part of Rock River Valley Blood Center's Santa's Nice List contest. Now until Thursday, anyone who gives blood at the RRVBC is encouraged to take a picture and post it on Instagram with the hashtag Santa's Blood Donors to be eligible to win. Some prizes include an iPhone, AirPods, a Kindle, even Pokemon cards for the kids. The contest comes as donor visits have been below target every month since January. The Blood Center needs to see 800 donors a week to be able to meet the increasing needs of patients.
Just to remember that, 1 in 3 of us will need blood in our life, and you don't want to be on the receiving end, but you hope that it's there for you when you need it. So if you are well and healthy and you have the time, spare an hour to share your good fortune with someone else.
RRVBC serves a 9-county region in northern Illinois and southern Wisconsin. The population of those counties is more than 1 million people.
Welcome back. Well, Walgreens and CVS have agreed to pay a combined $10.7 billion to settle allegations that they contributed to opioid addiction. Illinois Attorney General Kwame Raoul led a bipartisan coalition of 17 attorneys general who sued the pharmaceutical giants. Their lawsuit claims CVS and Walgreens fueled the opioid crisis by failing to properly oversee how the drugs were dispensed at their stores. Today's settlement also includes court-ordered requirements such as reporting, training, and monitoring.
Federal legislation to allow marijuana companies to legally access banks is facing a crucial deadline.
Yeah, lawmakers making a last-ditch effort to include the bill in next year's budget, which is due by the end of the week. DC's Raquel Martin has our story.
It absolutely can still happen.
Some senators say they're ready to open the door for banks to work with marijuana businesses.
They have to deal in cash. That's not good for anybody.
Ohio Democratic Senator Sherrod Brown and a group of bipartisan lawmakers are scrambling to get the so-called SAFE Act passed before the end of the year.
I think we're this close to a deal.
Brown says the bill would not only help marijuana businesses access things like loans, but also includes grants to encourage states to expunge the records of people with marijuana-related offenses.
We're trying to walk that line to help those young people.
Groups like the NAACP are endorsing the effort. In a recent op-ed, the organization said the bill would help achieve racial and economic equity. But not everyone agrees.
Expungements are a great thing to do. We support that. But it pales in comparison to what the banks and financiers and big tobacco are going to get, which is billions of dollars.
Nuke Niferatos, with smart approaches to marijuana, says the bill would only create more inequality.
People are still going to go to jail for this. So to me, it's a little ridiculous that we're even having this discussion. The marijuana industry is less than 2% black owned right now.
He doubts any breakthrough is on the horizon. Lawmakers have until the end of the week to decide. In Washington, Raquel Martin.
Now, your first warned weather forecast from Chief Meteorologist Candace King.
Well, the cloud cover, we have not really seen much of that break here over the last couple of days. In fact, really kind of thickening up here for us this afternoon. We take a live look with our Supply Corps camera here over downtown Rockford. This brought to us by Window World. Cloudy skies are something that'll stay with us not only through the night tonight, but really throughout the next several days. And on top of that, we are going to add in some rainfall by this time tomorrow for some, and then quite a bit of cold setting in here by the end of the week and for the weekend, and even going into the week of Christmas. The banner, too, is also going to turn a bit more active with that return of the cold, and we turn a little more active into the day tomorrow. Already we can see that moisture beginning to lift to the north from Texas through Oklahoma, then into Kansas. This all tied into this area of low pressure down across the Four Corners region. This is a fairly large low pressure system, bringing quite a bit of snowfall there to the higher elevations out to the west. This also going to bring quite a bit of snowfall across much of the Rockies, the plains, through the upper Midwest. You've got winter weather advisories, winter storm warnings, ice storm warnings, blizzard warnings. So a lot of winter weather coming up. On the warmer side of things, we've got severe weather that expected to develop here later tonight across the plains and then continue along the Gulf states into tomorrow as well as into Wednesday. For us, we're kind of in the middle. So this means a chilly rain coming down tomorrow evening and tomorrow night, and a lot of wind with that as well. We had a little bit of a breeze kind of pick up this afternoon. Temperature at 40 in Rockford, 39 in Freeport, Belvidere, 38 currently in Rochelle. Wind chill numbers are down just a bit. It's not terrible out there. Our weather watcher Mike here north of Forston checking in at 38. Cloudy skies, a little trace of some rainfall. Had some drizzle from time to time in a couple of spots. We are going to keep that cloud cover around as our wind continues from the southeast like it's been these last couple of nights. Temperatures are not going to drop too far here. We stay in those low 30s. Tomorrow, it's a slow rise with our numbers. Upper 30s for most of the day. We may be able to squeeze out 40, low 40s, actually once we get into the evening. But the first half of our Tuesday is expected to stay dry. We actually will stay dry through about 3, 4 o'clock for some, little later once you get further east of Rockford. But notice once we hit about that 4 o'clock time frame, we've got some rain showers that'll start to begin to develop. Now, there's quite a bit of dry air in place in the middle part of the atmosphere, so it is going to take a little time before we start to see things kind of saturate. So as we get through the evening, those rain showers should start to pick up a little more in intensity. A light mix possible to the north, but I think this is outside of the area in Wisconsin, so I don't think we get any mixed precipitation. It's just a chilly rain, as our temperatures during this time are going to be in the 30s. Also, the wind will be picking up as well, so it gets windy during that time as well. Temperatures are actually going to rise through the night Tuesday into Wednesday. Wednesday morning, most of this is out of here. Temperatures upper 30s, low 40s. Once we get to about 6 o'clock Wednesday morning, we keep with the cloud cover. There are some showers that'll persist through about noon, and then we see another uptick in some of that activity with the secondary low Wednesday evening, Wednesday night, and then that colder air comes in on the backside of that. As far as rain accumulations are concerned, you've got generally about a ½ an inch up to an inch of rainfall, so this is going to be a good soaker. Now, I mentioned the wind picking up as well. Those winds will be coming in gusting 30 miles per hour, increasing 35 miles per hour tomorrow night into early Wednesday. Stays a little breezy then for our Wednesday afternoon. After that, guys, the temperatures really fall. We've got some snow showers possible, mixing in with some rain Thursday. I think we might see a little accumulation Thursday into Friday. We keep with those scattered snow showers, snow flurries into the weekend, and our temperatures dropping back through the 20s.
Now sports with sports director Scott Lever.
Well, the bye week has served its purpose for the Bears. It's given some guys a chance to heal up. Defensive backs Kyler Gordon and Juwan Brisker were both removed from concussion protocol today. They should be available this Sunday, and the Bears will need them. It's all hands on deck, especially on defense, because they're going to be facing the 12-1 Eagles and Jalen Hurts. Hurts had another big day yesterday against the Giants, passing for 2 touchdowns and running for another one. Gordon and Brisker are 2 of the Bears' leading tacklers, and Brisker leads the Bears with 3 sacks.
It's great to get him back. We're excited about it. You know, having Gordon there as the nickel, that'll be a big piece for us going forward. You know, a lot of teams play 11 personnel, so we'll be in that group a lot. And then obviously the impact that Brisker has, you know, with his hitting and his ball hawking skills.
Well, the Fighting Illini's ReliaQuest Bowl opponent, Mississippi State, is facing major adversity. Their head coach, Mike Leach, is in a hospital in critical condition. There are reports that he suffered a massive heart attack yesterday. Leach is 61 years old. Mississippi State's defensive coordinator is overseeing the team's preparations for the bowl game. The game will be played on January 2nd. Well, the Big Ten team leads the way in the AP college basketball rankings this week. Purdue jumps up to number 1. Virginia, Connecticut, and Alabama round out the top 4. The Fighting Illini are 18th this week. Now tonight, the NIU Huskies will take on the number 15 team in college basketball. Gonzaga It'll be the first time these two schools have met in basketball. Gonzaga isn't quite as strong as it's been in recent years. The Bulldogs barely got by Kent State last week. NIU's only defeated a nationally ranked opponent twice before in NIU history. Fred VanVleet and the Toronto Raptors are struggling, and that's led to some speculation about the Raptors possibly trading VanVleet and some other veterans if they don't get straightened out. They've lost back-to-back games to the Orlando Magic, dropping them a game below 500. That's only the 9th best record in the East. VanVleet still hasn't found his shooting touch. He's making only 36% of his shots from the field.
It's hard to win in this league, and we're learning that. We got some guys that have to learn that. We all have to be better, starting with myself. Most importantly, myself. I think if I play better in these stretches, we probably win some of these games.
Well, the Ice Hogs have goaltender Jackson Stauber back. He's been assigned here by the Blackhawks because Blackhawks goaltender Peter Mrazek has been activated from injured reserve. His injured groin has healed up.
Dry skies for us, but cloudy skies. The first warning interactive radar brought to us by Rockford Auto Glass and more. Temperatures tonight will drop down into the low 30s. Tomorrow we keep with that cloud cover for much of our Tuesday. Through the mid-afternoon we are going to stay dry. Winds will pick up a little, so there will be a chill in the air as temperatures gradually climb through those 40s. Right around 40 degrees for our Tuesday afternoon. Temperatures will actually climb a bit by Tuesday night. Rain showers expected to move in by the evening. Some of those rain showers could be on the heavier side. We'll keep with the rain going into Wednesday. Could even be a rumble of thunder, especially west early on, west and south. Dropping temperatures with some snow showers then by the end of the week.
All right. Thanks, Candace.
Have a great night, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us.